What's up, everybody? Good evening. Looks like the chat's working on here. Hey, Wayne. What's up, Brenda Ray? Oklahoma. Martina Dill. Shirley Reed. What's up, everybody? Y'all's comments will be really delayed because on my end, the restream thing, I don't know, it's like a 20-second delay. Um, and I won't take much time tonight. I haven't per se put together a show by any means. I do have a video that I saw that I will show, but that's about it. There's a lot of, um, I don't even really know how to word it. There's a lot of contention. That's a good way to put it going on. I felt led to tell everyone to just be careful. That's it. Just be careful. You know what, guys? Hang on just a second. I'm going to go over. I promised the TNN page that I would post the link. I hope I can figure out how to copy the link. Yeah, I don't see. Go figure. I don't see the link copy function to share it. I'll have to work on that to learn how to better do that. But I'm going to go over and post it there so that people there can come join us too. Because this is something I'm pretty passionate about. I mean, all right. Sorry about that. Just a second. I'm trying to post the link over in TNN. All right. Um, for those of you that are in the TNN group, I'm sure you've already seen what I had said. And it was just a warning to be careful of who we listen to. And the main reason, well, one of the many reasons is what we believe will affect how we act, right? And so that's one reason. What we believe will change how we act. If I believe there's nothing I need to do, and that's what I fully believe, it's okay to believe that. But what is that going to do? That's going to have me in a place where I don't feel like I need to do anything, right? If And the other reason is I recently learned that somebody that I thought was, I don't know, doing this for the right reason has completely fabricated their background, their sources. Well, I don't even really know what all they fabricated because it's hard to know now. I about fell out of my chair. Y'all have to understand that a lot of these that I had come into contact with when I first was building TNN to start with, I haven't listened to for a long time. And the transformation that they've gone through, I could not believe what they were saying. And no, I'm still not going to name their name. I don't, for some reason, I don't feel, I just wanted to warn people to be careful. And here's one of the main reasons why. I've gotten messages from um, elderly folks who have subscribed to said individual and are paying monthly, and they can't afford to be. And in my opinion, they are preying on those kind of people because Think about it. And I'm not sure what the age group is here tonight, but think about it. If you're if I'm 70, 80 years old and I can't get out and protest and do um, can hardly even get out and vote, right? I can only imagine what I would want to support somebody. And some of these people, one I talked to, she's on um, living off of her social security, barely enough to even eat. And here she is paying because she wants to do something. She wants to help. And I so respect that. But to have somebody take advantage of that by fabricating a history that I know is not true. A, see, there's a difference. And people have asked, was it Brad you were talking about? No, it's not Brad. I respect Brad. Okay. He's a good father. He's a good man. And I know some people have their problems with him, and that's okay. I don't agree with some of the things he says, but that's okay. See, that's what I'm totally okay with disagreeing with other people. Some people can't, but my word, some people, if you disagree with them, just disagree. You are, oh, you're a traitor. You're a black cat just for disagreeing with an opinion. It's a belief, right? I'm not going to agree with everybody. I know everybody's not going to agree with me. That's why when I started TNN, I wanted to have dissenting opinions there. I have no problem with that. If somebody believes strongly in abortion, and I obviously believe strongly against abortion, well, I'm okay with sitting down and having a debate with that person. But first, what I want is to know where they're coming from. I want to know what their why, right? What their why is behind their belief. I've found that to be more effective always than labeling them, giving them a name, telling them they're a moron or whatever. Well, that's what's happening to people that disagree with some of these truthers out there. And disagreeing should be welcomed. Now, I get it. There's trolls that are just trying to stir up, they're they'll talk violently. They will, I get that. I totally get that. There are trolls, but somebody that disagrees just for that they disagree, somebody that says, I don't believe that's the way it's going to happen. We've been waiting a year or whatever. They disagree with an opinion. That's what they're disagreeing with. That's okay. Bring it. Let's sit down and talk about it. Why do you? In fact, I would be able to understand that. And I'm not hearing some of these people say that they understand that, right? Somebody comes on and says, you've been saying this for a year or whatever. Well, a good response to that would be, well, I can definitely understand where you're coming from. Maybe our time frame is different than what their time frame is. And let me make something very clear here. I know all of the theories out there. Some of them I fully believe in, but since I can't prove them, I don't want to come on and talk about them. Okay. Um, that's just me. It's okay for other people too. I don't, I was watching a channel the other day that actually was talking about Brad Barton, and I disagreed with it the way they were doing it. It was more of a making fun of there's a way to disagree with someone that's not mocking and um, at their expense sort of thing. And how stupid, I just don't agree with that. That's their way of doing it. So be it. That's just not my way. Okay. I prefer a place of understanding to where we can talk about it and kind of get down to why you believe what you believe. Here's why I believe what I believe. And this whole thing of people getting labeled quitters. If you saw that on the page today, that doesn't mean they've quit. Like I said, if that's what a quitter is, then that means all of these truckers out there are all quitters just because they don't believe in a theory that would tell them that they don't need to be protesting. That's exactly what that theory says, right? There's no need to. And not all truthers obviously have a problem with the truckers, but I did see one. I saw one that said what they're doing is pointless because the plan, I could not believe it. How dare you take what 50,000 people are putting their own lives at risk to do and minimize that down to, oh, it's pointless because the plan is going to take care of it. So, and there's people fighting in Maricopa County. I can't obviously talk about the actual results, but if you saw it on my Rumble page, you saw the amount of evidence is literally overwhelming. And yes, it's bad. Yes, it's what's going on is horrible. And I fully believe that there is plans that are in place to take care of these things. I can't prove them, but I do believe them. I'm getting kind of off track, but folks, when somebody has a large audience, there is a responsibility. You can call it free speech all you want, but there's a responsibility to not lead somebody to a place of lack of action that would have them believe and donate money to the cause because everything's handled, right? Now, I, as much as anybody want to believe that, I want to. I don't believe that's the way it's going to happen, but it very well may. That doesn't mean what anybody out there is saying about that belief is incorrect. We don't know if it's correct. I like verified truth. That's just me. I'm not a big conspiracy guy. That's why I loved Praying Medic, and when it comes to 17, oh, I studied that for 3 months. There's no doubt that was a real person. They were close to our president, and there is a lot of valuable information that came out of that. Now, as to the purpose of it, we've seen theories on that. Again, that's just a theory. But with the evidence that I saw, there is no way that was just some dude on the internet making stuff up. It's not possible. There was being able to predict events that only somebody on the inside would be able to predict, right? Now, what that actually means for the truther movement or for us, I don't know. We don't know. That's what we don't know, right? I've heard that it was a psyop. Okay, I can't really imagine them exposing so many people to the point where it rose up Patriot Nation to twice the size that it was before. I can't imagine they would do that, but maybe. I don't know. We don't know. Okay, that's the thing. And that's why I'm always very careful to say what I do know, what I don't know, and what is speculation. When it comes to, and again, let me say, I was not talking about Brad Barton. When I saw this entirely fabricated story of someone's past, their involvement in intelligence, I about fell out of my chair because I had talked to this person, and it is clearly obvious now that they stuck with that narrative because it would bring viewers and money. Okay. If you were a part of what we were doing, right? TNN, Scott McKay, Brad, there was quite a few of us. And all you had to do was a certain thing. And that was talk about a certain thing at the time. And your viewership exploded. Well, because somebody capitalized on that and is now making a ton of money as a result, I can only do, especially by fabricating their backstory and fabricating their connections. And then now other people are standing behind that fabricated story. That blows my mind. But not totally. It doesn't totally blow my mind because they risk losing a ton of their followers. You'll notice the ones that didn't continue the narrative, their following stopped growing. The ones that did continue the narrative, their following continued to grow. Okay. One that I listened to is Jeffrey Prather. He was given a lot of hope during those months while we were waiting until the inauguration. But he's very straightforward with his information, right? And he continues to say that, yes, we don't have, I mean, our president is right now not the president, right? People didn't like that. So what they do? His channel stopped growing. That's why I was saying, somebody said, sounds like you're jealous. If I was jealous, I could have continued the exact same thing and right now had 100,000 subscribers. It's a loss of subscribers, people, to just tell the truth. That's plain and simple the way it is. I mean, the verified truth, I should say. So I just personally didn't feel comfortable doing that. And that's why I left social media for nearly 4 months. And I've given you all the story of everything that happened, how they started coming after me and my family. Me, I mean, it still blows my mind. Little old me, that I couldn't even, purchase a firearm. But anyway, all of that started happening. I needed to make sure that my family was taken care of and that my wife's job was not affected by what I was doing. And now we're in a little bit better place for me to be able to do this. This is a passion of mine to get to restart. Well, I can show you here. I'll show you what my screen looks like, and I bet it's what a lot of y'all's screens look like too. Let's see. All right. Here's all my tabs. I'll try not to do anything that exposes anybody. My Gab, MeWe. You can see what's on BitChute. All my Rumble channel. Oh, there's plenty of them. I'm not saying that I don't just want to know what the truth is about them. And I'm not the type that's just gonna say something to, and I don't know that's what a lot of these people are doing. That's total speculation. Again, that's just speculation. Okay. But the one that I'm talking about, who I'm still not going to name the name, I just don't feel right about doing that. Because if I had documented proof, if I had, that might be different, but I don't have that documented proof. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's fabricated stuff that then following, but I may in time back down on that. I know a lot of other people have exposed that. Me having that personal contact with that individual a year and a half ago when they said they were kind of new to this, still I was wanting to have them on the show, on Brad's show. I wanted to start doing interviews. So anyway, we have a responsibility. Anybody that is in front of this screen with an audience has a responsibility. Someone's saying I'm cutting in and out. Hang on just a second. I'm coming over to the chat on. Am I cutting in and out? I can see I still can't see the chat. Is it buffering? I'm gonna check my speed real quick, guys. Sorry. Yeah, my speed has dropped down a little bit. So hopefully y'all can still hear me okay. What got me is the elderly thing. These people can't get out and do what a lot of us can do. They can't get out and fight. They can't get out and go to protest. They can't, and they're wanting to help so bad that now they're giving money to somebody who is literally scamming them on purpose. I mean, it's a scam. And I can't believe people that would say, there was people in chat earlier that said, oh, it sounds like jealousy to me. It sounds like Tim is just trying to stir up trouble. Would you not want to know if you're, I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. That is not where my heart is. That is not my intent at all. I could have done that a long time ago if that's what I wanted to do. Sorry, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Oh, by the way, thanks, Mark. I forgot to mute it. I'm sorry. If that was my intent, I could have done that a long time ago. That is not my intent at all. My intent is to get the truth out about the things that I know are true. I'm going to do some speculation. There's a lot of things I think are going to happen, y'all. I really do. I really think that with what I'm seeing going on and the exposing that's happening, and that's what started this. My whole thing was I got woke up back in about 2.5 years ago, and I wanted so bad to tell people about what I had learned. And it was an itch. My YouTube channel is called The Obsessed Patriot. I'm diagnosed OCD. Well, I get obsessed about those I want people to see what I'm seeing. I want people to see the truth. It truly woke me up. And so that's why I started all of this. But for people to say, because I don't agree with your theory about what's going to happen, that I'm a quitter, that's what I meant in the thing or in TNN earlier. Oh, no, that needs to stop, because people aren't quitting just because they don't believe your narrative. That's not quitting. That's disagreement. That means they disagree with your narrative that they, I'm sure, would love to see happen. They disagree, and we can agree to disagree, right? But to say you're a quitter, a troll, that's just not true. It is simply not true. And so to say that, you're saying something that's not true. I do take exception to that. But when somebody's out there literally doing this only for money and views, and they've even made up entire stories, I have a major problem with that. I will always have a problem with that. Why shouldn't I have a problem? You should have a problem with that, right? There's a video. I just recently found this guy. Again, I'm not the type that throws the baby out with the bathwater. Okay. I still watch CNN. I read CNN. It doesn't me like it does some. I understand not being able to. A lot of people can't, they just can't handle that. That's fine. But I still watch and to see where I can pull bits of information out. Then I go verify it, use other sources, more truthful sources, so forth. Right. I don't just not listen to anybody. And this guy, I don't know. I'm not saying that he's the go-to guy. I just saw a video, and I believe it. I believe what he's saying. That's the way. This is how I believe. And so I wanted to show that. Hang on just a second. I'm going to let this play, and oh, I got to pull hang on. I got to pull the window out, make it all by itself here. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can, that one tab. And again, feel free to disagree with it. There's some things that he says that I disagree with, and I'll point those out. But I really like some of the things that he had to say here. So I'm going to play this. If you don't like the guy, that's fine. Okay. I'm not saying this is your go-to guy. I'm simply saying that there's certain things that he says.
Just to get people to
that I absolutely agree with.
Well, it's probably going to be multiple. How to approach it, right? Then I got this comment, and you can go ahead and check the comment. I'm not deleting any comments. There's a bunch of responses, and I thank you, for all the responses and stuff. But I want to respond, to this comment, and I want to kind of get into this. See, the comment is, Sage, I used to watch you when you were on LWN, and I subbed to your channel. I stood up for you when people wanted Jeff B instead of you and on another panelist. I also watched you at Cold Beer Confessionals. Dude, you're smart. Why pick other people when you can stand on your own. And I watched a Glenn Beck video, and I've got the video here, and I'm gonna key it up. But what's actually happening out there, and the reason this is happening, and the reason you're seeing people completely different, maybe in some aspects, stand up together, is right here. And I'm just gonna play this video, and we're gonna talk about it.
Mandates, and he's just not going to cross it.
If they can figure out a way to force you into carrying papers, into carrying something that lets you enter businesses or lets you do this or lets businesses open, as soon as you give politicians power, in any kind of power that didn't exist previously, historically, they don't relinquish that power. They find new reasons to use it.
So he has come up to that line. Remember about a year ago, I said, where is your line? What is the line that you won't cross? Many Americans are finding it right now. Too many are missing the opportunity, and it's going to put them too far down the field, I fear, to turn around at some point. But others are finding their line. Dave Chappelle has come up with his line. It's the pressure to apologize for his comedy special, and he said, I will not cross it.
You will not summon me. I am not bending to anybody's demands.
Jonathan Isaac of the Orlando Magic reached the line he won't cross with the mandates.
At this point in time, it is going to take courage. It is going to take boldness to stand up for what it is that you believe, to say it proudly and to say it loudly.
If you listen to this program, you heard, believe it or not, the rap artist Bryson Gray tell you on this program that when you've reached your line, it's time to stand up.
It's time for us to stand up and stop allowing and succumbing to what's going on in this country.
What's great about this is it brings me back to this woman that my family and I met in Poland. I've told you the story a million times, that said the righteous didn't suddenly become righteous. They just refused to go over the cliff with everyone else. They just refused to go over the cliff. The Rogan effect is when you get to the cliff and you're like, okay, this is madness. I'm not going with you. Then after everybody else has jumped off the cliff, you look around and see, holy cow, I'm standing with you. You didn't jump off the cliff either? That's what this is. You're starting to see the people that won't jump off the cliff, and sometimes they're surprising.
All right. So for me, let me tell you where my line is. Let me tell you where my line stands. My line stands in regards to allowing people to be delusional, allowing people to say whatever they want to say out loud to other people when they're completely wrong. Allowing them to weaponize stupidity. See, YouTube has become educating from the uneducated. It's become a tool to educate from the uneducated. And that's being weaponized. We're at that cliff. And there was a decision that I had to make. And I just didn't jump. I just didn't jump. I refused to. I refused to go off that cliff, go past my line. This is my line. You all say that you guys are going to stand your ground. What's your ground? What's your line? Do you know? Because I know what my line is. I know where this train stops. It stops at the edge of that cliff. It stops at the edge of that cliff. And this is why. The next statement was why, and it goes down, but why can't you let others have their opinion? I think the world is big enough to let people believe what they want. Man, whatever happened to the people searching for answers and the other people being okay with it? Unless it is about getting hits and likes and money and bashing people with different mindsets. You know, stand on your own statements and beliefs instead of tearing someone else down. Nobody's tearing you down when somebody comes to you and says you're wrong. Let me show you why you're wrong. Let me prove to you why you're wrong. If I came to you and said 1 + 1 is 3, and I came and said, no, it's not, let me show you, your beliefs that it is 3 are wrong. So you're allowed to have whatever beliefs you want in your own head. It's when you relinquish them to the rest of the world that it matters. What you say matters. The words that come out of your mouth matters because other people can hear it. And as we get more technology, those other people can grow to unlimited amounts of people. People can say stuff on the internet that's never going to happen. That's not real, but they are projecting it as real. And people are believing that, and that's dangerous. That is dangerous. There's a difference between faith and fact, and these people are projecting what can never be fact. Dead people that are over 100 years old that are going to come back to life and lead us to victory.
In a second, he's going to say something about pyramid schemes. I disagree with that. Okay, I fully believe that. I know people have had bad experiences with it, but I know some really good people in multi-level marketing businesses that they've never hurt anybody, and they've done very well with it. And even if it's only just to get the free product that they got that changed their life, their health, or what have you. Okay, so I disagree with that. Again, his take is that they're all pyramid schemes, and another one of those places I disagree. What I do agree with, and that's going to come in a second, but what I do agree with is what he's saying here and how what's happening is someone's take, their belief is being passed off as truth. And the way they're doing that is by saying such and such source, wherever it came from, bam, 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 it's truth. This is going to happen. That's one thing I respect about Brad's broadcast, and that's what I always wanted. And I would always tell him when I wrote the shows to be sure and say, we're just a source of news. We're showing you go decide on your own. You go do the research. That's what I loved about 17 and how he brought the information to us. It's called the Socratic method, right? Socrates would teach by asking questions, and it gets people to think. It gets you to wonder instead of having to be told, this is how it's going to be, and this is what's going to happen, and this is, that's what mainstream media, that's how they destroyed the news industry, right? And it destroyed people because people came to rely on that. They came to rely on somebody tell me what I'm supposed to think about this situation. There's a shooting that happened, blah, 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 and you just tell me all the details of it, and then I'll believe it. Instead of, let me look into that. And 17 brought us to a place of looking into things a little bit more. But when somebody passes off what they believe or think might happen as the truth, that's a problem. That's not good. I'm going to let it keep going.
Money, millions and millions of dollars that the government's just going to give to you because it's owed to you. So go ahead and rack up your credit cards. Take out these loans. Don't worry about it. We have lines. We have lines that we all have. The line that I have, my line, something I won't jump off the cliff. And it's just my strong line is the fact that you can't say whatever you want. You have to be held accountable for your words and your actions. I am not of the opinion that you can say whatever you want to say because the world's big enough. The problem is it's not big anymore. The world isn't as big as you think anymore because technology has made it smaller. It has brought people together who could never talk before, are now able to talk. So if you think the world's big, it was a lot bigger before that. When you start to say things that completely aren't true, and you start to spread that, and you start to dictate that, and you start to repetitively say that, and then people start to believe you, and people start to follow you, and people start to say, Yeah, I'm going to rack up my credit cards and I'm going to do this stuff. Yeah, I'm going to be a part of a pyramid scheme. That sounds fantastic. But I'm going to give out fake intel, fake information, stuff that's not true, just to get people to like me, follow me, lead people on. What point was that okay? At what point? Because growing up, I was told by my parents, maybe it was just one of those things that you don't lead people on. You don't lead them on. You don't pretend to like them when you don't like them. Maybe that's just me being a man. You don't do that to people. You don't do that to women. You don't do that to people. You don't trick people with your words. And if you're searching for truth, and I love this, man, whatever happened to people searching for answers and other people being okay with it? Unless it's about getting height, likes, or different mindset. If you're searching for answers and I'm giving you the answers with proof, and that's still not good enough, then you're not searching for answers. You're searching for what you want. You're searching for your truth, not the truth. That's my line. My line is you can't say whatever you want to say anymore. It's too dangerous. You have to be held accountable for the words that you speak, for the things that you say. And I don't know when that changed. I don't know when growing up, you just couldn't spew anything you wanted to spew anytime you wanted to spew it. You could think it. It could be in the privacy of your own home. But now you are on public platforms with followers. You think that declares a responsibility? That you're not leading people over the edge of a cliff? You're not leading people to drink the Kool-Aid? I had another conversation in regards to something I'm going to talk about on a Friday show that I do. But at one point, there are two different positions, right? If something is my job, I'm held accountable for it. If something's my responsibility, well, that's a different thing, right? See, we believe that we shouldn't be held accountable for anything anymore. We can blame anybody else, we can blame anything else, but we shouldn't be held accountable for what we say or what we do. The reason that I'm with Will, that I'm doing a show with Will, is because neither of us would go off the cliff. Neither of us would go off this cliff. And we got to the edge, and we looked at each other and we're like, Christ, you're here? Oh, no.
Will is the guy I was just talking about a little while ago, that I don't like the way he does some things. Again, I disagree with the mocking and the especially when it's about somebody that I know their heart is right. You know, especially like Brad. I mean, his heart is totally in the right place. He's not out there to hurt anybody, not intentionally. I may not agree with the way he believes things are going to happen, but that's okay. Now, the way Will does that, I disagree with the method, I guess, right? But there are a lot of things that he says that are true. Again, I don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But what he's saying here of that responsibility, that is exactly, I mean, that's so true. And no, it doesn't bring viewers. This broadcast won't bring viewers, you know, and that's okay. It's the truth, and it's the real truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It's responsible. And that's the way we all should try to be, whether we're sharing it with people, sharing it with our friends, with our family. And I know there's some hateful people out there. I know, I get it. Some of them I just can't even hardly stand to listen to. The left-leaning, I mean, they're literally wackos, right? That's why the wacko left. But those amongst us, fellow patriots, people who are given a responsibility, it's so necessary for us to be sure to state that this is what I believe, but don't go in this, right? If you want to believe that NESARA and GESARA is going to happen, my gosh, don't go run up credit cards, because you know that it's gonna, that's a level of belief that has just gone too far. And there's people doing that. There are people literally right now doing that because they know they're going to get, they believe so strongly that they're going to get millions of dollars. Their mortgage is going to be wiped out. So since all debt is going to be wiped out, might as well just go live it up. What happens if that doesn't happen? What happens to their family? What happens to their children? What about the people who instilled that belief in them? Instead of saying, here's one theory, I'm going to show this theory, and maybe it'll happen. But I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. The ones that are doing that, they are being irresponsible. So I think that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to say. A lot of people do need to wake up. There's no doubt about it. Being a student of 17, there's something there, folks. No doubt. That was not just some bunch of hogwash by some dude behind an internet. No, I can prove that. I can't prove what the final result's going to be. I have some things I hope happen. And I see a lot of things going on in the world that lead me to believe that that hope may just come true. A lot of things. From GoFundMe to the alternate economy that we're creating, to a lot of positive things, a lot of things that are leading me to see that it is very possible that there's going to be a complete massive shift. But I'm not going to sit here and say it's coming. It's next week. This next week is going to be the big week. No, because if I say that, there might be people out there that don't take any action. There might be people out there that need to show up to a protest or a rally that don't even come near one. Why? Because the plan's going to take care of all of it. Why do I need to do anything? Complacency. And anybody that instills complacency is being irresponsible. And that's okay if you disagree with that. I fully believe that it's irresponsible. And I think people need to be held accountable when they're being irresponsible. Like he just said, you know, you can believe incorrectly if you want, but let's look for answers. Let's not just look for truth. Let's get answers. Let's get verified answers that we know are true. And then share those with people. Sharing theories, speculation, that's okay. I'm okay with that. Folks, thanks for coming with me tonight. The amount of attacks that I was starting to get, message, and was, I just, you know, if you say anything, if you call somebody irresponsible, if you say, I mean, I would say it to their face. So let's sit down and have lunch, right? And let's talk through this. You know, you may not come differently. That's okay. We can agree to disagree. But nowadays, if you have anything, I mean anything, that's a slight negative against somebody, you're a black hat. You're the enemy. You're the enemy. And yet you're still out there fighting, doing what you can for your country because of what you believe in. But no, you're the enemy. No, I'm not out here to cause any division. I named that, didn't name, I pointed out so that people would be more cognizant of who they're dealing with, to learn what to and what not to listen to. Hey, it can be entertaining, you know. You saw all my tabs. That's the kind of stuff I research. I do it all the time. And when I come upon a truth that I find out, wow, that was actually true, that happened, I'll be on here to talk about it. But most likely not until then. And if it is, if I do, I'll tell you, this is just totally speculation. Do not stop doing something you should do. Do not go do something that you wouldn't have normally done. Speculation. This is just my theory, because that's all we've got until things actually happen. All right. I love all of you. Thanks for coming out tonight. I'll be trying to put another show together soon. Please go over to YouTube and subscribe. I want to be able to go live on there. No, it's not going to have hundreds of thousands of viewers. I know that, and there's no way it can, just reporting the truth, responsible truth. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. I get to live my passion, which is sharing with others how I woke up, the things I realized, and then get to share that with others also. So my YouTube channel, I'm about, I think, 400 away from being able to go live and monetize it to where you can do super chat and things like that, because I would like to have it at least bring in enough income to cover expenses. I would like to be able to restream. It's a monthly subscription for that. Rumble is a monthly subscription. Adobe Creative Suites, everything's a monthly subscription. And so I'd at least I would like to get that up to a place where all of those kind of costs are covered and I can continue spreading the word. So, okay. Anyway, I love all of you, and I'm going to let this sit here for just a little bit because it's about a 20-second delay. Thanks, everybody.